A man who constantly compares himself to others will never be satisfied. The reality is, in the modern world, it is quite difficult at times with social media, with all of these people posting online, showing how nice their life is, showing how much money they've got, showing how much status they've got, to not, on some micro level, find yourself comparing yourself to other people. It's very difficult. It's very in your face. However, you would do very, very well to start to train yourself to not make that mistake. Because the reality is, your life is never going to get better comparing yourself to another person. And often, a lot of what you see online is obviously fabricated in some way or another. It is obviously spun in a way that makes that person appear to be doing amazing, appear to be winning in life, appear to be doing better than they actually are. You know, there's a lot of people that will only ever discuss the absolute best things in their life online, and therefore when people see their Instagram, when people see their LinkedIn or their TikTok or their YouTube or whatever, they only see all these high moments, and they're sat there thinking, wow, this person is just killing it. Maybe it's an 18-year-old and he's talking about his agency that he's been running for the last 6 months and how now he's making £20,000 a month, and everybody's sat there watching it in awe of this guy. They say, oh my God, I mean, look, he's so young. He's so young and he's doing much better than me. Like, he's 18 and I'm 30, I'm 35, and that guy's making more money in a single month than I make in 6. And the truth is, you don't know that individual's circumstances. You don't know if he got some fundraising support, if he's got some rich family that gave him a bunch of money to go and start this thing. Now, it's not to say that anybody who does well, that it's not possible that they did it on their own. No, it's absolutely possible, but you don't know. And comparing somebody else who you don't know the circumstances of to yourself, it's an unfair comparison, because they don't have the same circumstances as you. And look, if you are comparing yourself to people from a positive perspective, let's say it's something that fires you up and motivates you, that's okay, but do not allow it to be negative. Do not allow yourself to be on Instagram, be on TikTok, and just comparing yourself to other people, calling yourself a loser, getting into this rut, engaging in all this negative self-talk. Because look, the yacht that guy's on right now, you don't know that he's not just snuck on there to take a picture and make it look like he's on the yacht. He might not even have been invited. You know, the girls that he's with, yeah, maybe they're really beautiful, maybe they're really pretty, but he might have paid them for the photo. And if you sit there and compare yourself to people like that, again, I'd say that's really superficial stuff that they're putting out there, also very materialistic, not fulfilling in the long term. But if you're comparing yourself to people like that, it's silly. You don't know the circumstances. You don't even know if it's real. There's a lot of AI stuff now. It's hard to decipher what's real and what's not. Instead, focus on yourself. Focus on where you were 6 months ago. Focus on where you were 2 years ago. Have you made improvements? If you haven't, then, hey, there's work that needs to be done, and you've definitely not got time to be thinking about other people and what they're doing. You need to be looking back, and you need to be saying, right, it's been 2 years and I've achieved nothing. Now's time to get to work. But equally, look, if you can look back and 2 years ago you can see that you were in a completely different spot to where you are today, you've got to be proud. You've got to be proud of the stuff that you've achieved. It's better to compare yourself to who you were yesterday rather than to who somebody else is today. That's Jordan Peterson. And I recommend 12 Rules for Life. It's a great book. It's a great read. One of the chapters is about exactly that. And it's something that I try and carry forward with myself. Now, there are going to be times where you fall into that trap where you're scrolling on your phone and you're swiping up and down and you see somebody else and they seemingly are just killing it. They're seemingly just winning in every single aspect of life. And you get that little emotion of envy, that little emotion of self-reflection whereby you feel like you're not doing enough, whereby you feel like you could be doing better. There is the time to take a pause and take a deep breath. Stop thinking about them Stop thinking about other people. Think about yourself and ask yourself the question, am I better than I was this time last year? Then ask yourself another question, am I moving in the right direction? If you are, and you are following the plan, there is no need to be focusing on other people. Only allow that to be a positive thing. Only allow that to be a thing that kicks your own ass, lights a fire in your ass, you know, that actually has some positive impact. That's okay. You want to compare yourself to somebody you look up to, fine. They can be a benchmark for you. Again, though, be careful with that, because honestly, your motivation, of course, should be to gain wealth, to get in shape, to become a better man. But when you focus too much on the materialistic things and the sort of binary markers, I want this much money, I want to run a business that generates this every single year, I'd like to own this particular thing. When you focus too much on those things, it's very, very hard to ever stop. It's a bit of a bottomless pit. You're just chasing the next thing, the next thing, the next thing, the next thing. Instead, focus on the impact that you want to have. Focus on something that you feel gives you a real sense of purpose. Focus on providing value and making people's lives better. Focus on building something that is good for future you and maybe good for future you's family. Because you see a lot of people in this world who have all the money in the world, everything that they could want, every item, every possession that they could want. They have the ability to be in whatever location they want, and you just know they're still desperately miserable. Desperately miserable. Now, look, if I'm being honest, I would rather cry in the back of a Rolls Royce than cry in the back of a Vauxhall Astra 2010. But when it's all said and done, you're still crying, you know? And I think when you center your being and the very core of your being on things and numbers and material possessions and just materialistic stuff generally because you want to be seen a certain way, it's never going to stop. You're always going to be chasing the next thing, the next thing, and the next thing. And this is why comparison is just this never-ending spiral of failure. Because you're never going to be good enough. There's always going to be somebody bigger and better. It's the same in sport. It's the same in martial arts. There's always going to be somebody who can chin you. You might not know who it is right now, but there is a guy who could beat you. And this is why it's far better to focus on yourself. And look, it's hard. When you are climbing, it is difficult to think this way. But you say, look, I've got so much to achieve and all these people are ahead of me. And maybe they are in some respects. However, you don't know for sure. And they may be posting the absolute best day. I guarantee they don't post the worst day. They don't post the failures. They don't post the struggle. They don't post the journey. Because that doesn't sell well. Of course, there are people that do put that stuff online and credit where credit is due. That's fantastic. But I'm talking about a very specific profile of person that is just selling a life. You see it in a lot of online sales closers, right? They post about the lifestyle and they're in the really nice places and they're just trying to attract people to basically buy the course that they bought or buy the course that they're selling. You just got to be careful with this stuff. You really got to be careful. Comparison is the thief of joy. It really is. And as I say, you don't know the circumstances. You don't know how much money they've been given. You don't know how much help they've received. You don't know how much they've leveraged their existing connections or family connections or whatever. But you do know your own story. You do know your own struggle and you do know where you were. So stop focusing on everybody else. If you do that too much, it's going to kill the enjoyment of your day-to-day. It's going to kill your motivation. You're going to find yourself asking yourself why you're doing it. And the reality is you've made some great progress. You just need to look back every once in a while and focus on that. You need to turn around and look at where you were as opposed to where you are now. You just got to keep stepping. But every now and again, you do have to look back and appreciate the strides that you've taken. And the difficulty with fixating yourself on everybody else and comparing yourself to everybody else is that it distracts you from your own growth. You're doing a good job. Yes, maybe there's things you can do better. Yes, there's things that you can improve on. But isn't that the whole point of what we're doing anyway? Isn't that just part of the journey? I don't mind comparison to other people if you are using it in a positive way. If it's psyching you up and it's motivating you and it's lighting a fire under your ass and it's helping you. But for goodness sake, don't allow it to harm you. And additionally, if you're as serious as you say you are about your goals and your ambitions and the life that you would like to create, you don't have time to be watching other people, and you definitely don't have time to be watching other people and allowing that content, allowing that form of social media to eat away at your own motivation and subsequently create a reality whereby you are now procrastinating and you are now hesitating. Full steam ahead. No time for that. There's no time for that. If you're as serious as you say you are about the life that you want to build, you've not got time to hesitate, you've not got time to procrastinate, you've not got time to focus on anybody other than yourself. So get to work. If you took some value from today's video, do me a massive favor, hit the like button, comment your thoughts down below, and consider subscribing for much more from me. It makes a big difference when you guys do all of those things. It helps me to reach more people on the YouTube platform, and subsequently it helps me to add more value and help more young guys. So I'd really appreciate it if you do that for me. As always, guys, thank you for your time and your attention, and I'll see you in the next one.